Good morning. This is WXON, Detroit, Michigan, beginning another day of scheduled telecasting.
Yes, sir, we promised you a great man here tonight.
Andre, the China WrestleMania!
Hulkamania is running wild.
My God, what a run!
It's not our world is watching.
Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, May 3rd, 2023. Etep right here with you. The place to be reviews live. This will be our new daily live show. The starting time is a little bit askewed, but we're going to start doing this 4 to 5 days a week now. Monday, probably Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, based on my work schedule, that notwithstanding. But we're going to start doing this. We've got some news stories. It'll be about a 30-minute show. We've got some news stories to cover with you today, and we have a great guest with us this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me bring him on right now, Mr. AngelousDraven.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah, looking forward to talking about whatever topics you got lined up. So, yeah.
Excellent. Thank you for being here, man. So first up, we've got a story titled "The Dumbest Thing I've Heard in a Long Time," and of course, it's referring to something from Zack Snyder. So, I just right. It's just kind of funny.
Greek gods,
kind of
Kryptonians, interesting.
Yeah. And for those of the people out there who champion the cause of Zack Snyder, this is even more humorous because he wants Greek gods to be Kryptonians. That just totally ignores actual mythology.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's a big fucking matzo ball right there.
I don't know. I don't know how they are normally in the DC like universe. I don't know if there's like a legit like they were like old gods or whatever. I don't know the context like in the comics as far as that, but yeah.
Yeah, and there's also a poll in the chat. Who's worse, Gunn or Snyder? We've got 67% James Gunn, 33% Zack Snyder right now. Nano Reaper says, as a purely director, Zack Snyder. As a human being, James Gunn, and I'm inclined to lean in on that. Mm-hmm. But no, this is just more Zack Snyder not understanding things. I mean,
yeah. Because I know Marvel, they're like the Greek gods are like legit, like they're real, they exist.
Yes.
So they're superheroes. They help things or interject within our plane or whatever.
Well, they used Hercules in Justice League. Mm. In the beginning of Justice League, that sequence with I believe it was Darkseid at the very beginning.
Yeah.
So they're acknowledging, because Hercules is a Greek mythological figure. Mm-hmm. So they are acknowledging that the legitimate gods do exist.
Yeah. And
the fact that he still, knowing that they acknowledge that, wanting to say, well, look, they're Kryptonian. That's a little ridiculous on the part of Snyder. But when you live in the realm of ridiculousness like he does, I mean, yep. Let's be honest. And that's not just us or my own personal feelings about Snyder. And trust me when I say I'm not white knighting for geeks and gamers, because that's the last thing you're going to get out of me is anything, defending them.
I don't have like a gun in the race or whatever.
No, I don't have a stake. I don't have a horse in the race here.
Yeah, I don't either. As far as like, for or against Snyder, like, or even being a Snyderverse person, like it's a movie. It's like whatever.
Yep.
To me.
Yeah. Morning, Godzillionaire. Good morning, sir. Yeah, that's the problem with the tribalism that is rampant in fandoms. And this is why gatekeeping in fandoms is a good thing. Mm-hmm. Because then we don't end up with bullshit like this. Can I get this fucking smudge?
But then we don't get like what is it? Tourist fans or whatever.
Yes.
Or what's the terminology that I know Stig uses it a lot.
Yep, it is. It's fandom tourists or tourist
Yeah.
fans or whatever, because they're not invested in the long term in these IPs. It's they're fashionably late to the party with a lot of this stuff, and then they come in, they pretend they've been a part of the fandom for years. That's like me, like with say like Dungeons and Dragons or Stranger Things. I'm like, hey, I haven't been watching this the entire length. Like, I've been aware of Stranger Things since it came out. I just never watched it until my kids started watching it. Hey, Dad, this is pretty cool. I'm like, I'll check it out. And all right, so I immerse myself. It's not like I'm coming and go, well, you need to change this and I demand this. I'm just like, I like to talk about it because I enjoyed it. It was something that was good.
Yeah.
You know, and
well, that's like with me with like Harry Potter and what is the other thing? There's something else too. That just has like I'm just the fan of the movie side. Oh, Game of Thrones. Like I'm just a fan of the TV series or game or movie side. Like I don't really know like the deep seated lore of these things. Like just because I've never read any of the books or gotten into any of the supplemental like stuff. And that's kind of how I was like for a while too with Star Wars until like coming into the fandom. And then delving into the EU and stuff. Like I had known about the EU because like I had buddies that were into that shit and they talked to me about it. So like I knew about it, but I never got into it.
What? Let me say good morning to Brightest Day and Papa Cotton. He says, "Who's worse? Isn't gonna pedo?" Well, I'm limited by characters here. You know, I'm only limited by the technology of my time, Papa. And that notwithstanding, I meant more so along the cinematic lines. But I mean, since we're talking about Zack Snyder and then we have his replacement, James Gunn, you know, that's why the question is worded the way that it is. So, but no, I trust me, like, and I already, in regards to Nano's comment as a purely a director, Snyder's worse as a human, James Gunn. That's basically my school of thought, you know. But no, you're absolutely right. And to bring this back, this is the problem we get with DC, and I think a lot of the Snyderverse fans, because if these, and I can't speak for all of them, but just as an observation, if these people were true fans of DC, they would want to see the characters portrayed the way they'd come to know and love them in the comics, you know. And somebody the other night, I can't remember who it was we were talking, but they were like, oh, I had to check my Marvel, you know, my Marvel Bible. And I can do that. I can go right back. Let's see, where's it at? Right here. And this is the beauty about not having my green screen up, is I can just walk to the back of the office. But I've got the whole DC Bible right here, every fucking character in DC's catalog. And that's absolutely like, you know, the way these characters are is the way they should be. Because that's, you know,
a lot of people that champion the Snyderverse, like they each have their own interpretation of the character based on when they got into it, like from the comic standpoint too. So it's like you have like all these different, like I guess, viewpoints of how those characters should be represented. Marvel's the same way too.
Yeah, well, you get these Johnny Come Lately fans that they don't start watching the movies or reading the comics until 2018, and they're like, "Oh, well, Captain Marvel should be there." It's like, well, do you even know who Captain Marvel really is? Because it was a man that's from DC.
And the only reason Danvers got it is because it was passed down to her. Yeah,
and so the Snyder thing, to bring it back to the Snyder issue, I mean, this is not only a misunderstanding of lore, this is a complete disregard of actual mythology, you know. And I mean, okay, so if you're doing this for some grand scheme to serve what you're trying to do cinematically, and you make it make sense, you know, it's fiction. So, okay, it's kind of like Thor and Odin, you know, those are parts of actual mythology. Now, what Marvel does with them is not accurate, but you don't hear people really complaining about that because the characters, well, up until a certain point were portrayed, you know, and it was satisfactory. But this is just, you know, this is just sheer fucking hubris to quote, you know, the old lady in Picard. What's up, Clone Geek? Welcome. He says Zack Snyder's just making stuff up at this point. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So I have
a few good films, and that's kind kind of about it.
You know,
like 300 and the Watchmen movies were pretty good, and Sucker Punch was terrible.
I never watched it.
It wasn't that good.
No,
and I think that's how it was advertised. Like the way it was advertised, like it was a letdown when you actually seen it because it wasn't exactly what they were advertising.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never, like I said, I remember seeing trailers and I never, because I thought, shit, this looks exactly like every other movie he does. So I'm like, I like the, was it Dawn of the Dead he did or Day of the Dead? The remake he did in 2005 of the Romero, you know, one of the Romero trilogy. I did like that.
No,
I think
I never seen it.
I can't remember if it was Dawn or I can't fucking remember. It's been so I haven't seen those the remakes of those in so long. I haven't seen the 80s versions of those in so long. What up, Shawnee Step? Welcome. Nano says Marvel should have never used Norse mythology. No. I mean Thor. Okay, so I'm not, like I said, I'm not a comic aficionado. Novice, you know, reader at best. I don't mind Thor, the character, if he's done all right. But, you know, for the most part, the way they use Thor, especially under Taika Waititi's writing, is I didn't mind the Shakespearean Thor because what I have read in the comics, the olds, that's the way Thor was. But, you know, but it goes along with the character of who he is. Snyder doesn't understand the characters, which was evident by Man of Steel, BVS. And
I thought he got Batman all right. I thought he got, like, because his style, like, kind of directing kind of fits Batman.
It does. Batman is brooding. He's dark. Gotham is a character in all the media that it's portraying. The city is a character. It is dark. It is broody. It is gloomy. It's always raining for some reason. You know, that works, and that's Snyder's style. It works, but anything else is just like him. Say, you know, I don't know. He's just. His style doesn't. It's stylistically, it doesn't work with most of the material he's been given. His scenes are always too long. Let's see. Wait, James Gunn wrote Dawn of the Dead, the remake that Zack Snyder directed. Oh my God, I didn't know that. I did not know that. Let down when you see it, kind of like Emily Browning. That's he's talking about Sucker Punch. I take it.
Yeah.
2 MCU movies out, like Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2.
Oh, so yeah, like Winter Soldier's and peak.
Winter Soldier's that's the apex of the MCU right there. Is Winter Soldier. It never got any better. It only got worse after that.
Infinity War is pretty good. It's up there, but
I love Infinity War.
For like a team up, but like a single like character movie, Winter Soldier's the best in the MCU.
Winter Soldier and then Iron Man for me are my top two. But no, so Gunn. Well, you know, Gunn's taken over for Snyder now. Snyder's, you know, being called this is what the dumbest thing I've heard in a long time. Even Snyder fans are blasting him. Let's see here. I don't. Let's see. The ancestry of the Amazons gets contested. In the DC universe, godlike beings have belong. Let's see. I just want to go down to the quote. Let's see. However, the audience envisions a great climatic battles. Let's see. All right. So Zack Snyder, in a version of his reimagined world, dissected his Justice League heroes and traced some steps to find the root of their origin. In an idea that has since been scrapped from the Snyderverse, the director claims the Amazons and Atlanteans are descendants of Kryptonians who had long ago crashed on Earth. As such, these natives of Themyscira and Atlantis evolved from the ancient alien beings who have long been forgotten and expanded into the human world a millennia before Superman's. That's stupid. That
I could see it. Like if they're gonna explain, I could see it to a degree because like they like try to explain like some of our greatest like historical things, like pyramids and all that shit on aliens coming down. So it kind of makes sense, especially if it or if Kryptonians were like exploring the far reaches of the galaxy and stuff. It could make sense if done correctly.
I just think it undersells the actual, like your Atlanteans and the Amazons. It undersells their backstory. Oh, well, they're Kryptonian. That's how they got there. And then the Kryptonians left Earth It never came back. But Superman shows up all of a sudden, and he's completely out of his element, fish out of water, which he was. He didn't understand his powers. He didn't understand who he was at first. He knew he was different. he felt different once he started to grow.
Well, that is a good point. But like they would have if they were exploring those places, they would have had records and stuff. Yep. And he was older. Well, or no, he got sent as a baby, didn't he?
Yeah, he got sent as a baby.
Okay.
But they would have had they had knowledge program. Now in the movie, I'm going by the movie, not the comic here.
They would have had knowledge programmed into the Fortress of Solitude or whatever.
Yep. He wouldn't have had the exploratory journey, but it wouldn't have been as immersive to him because he already would have understood the culture because the society that begat him understood the culture and had monitored Earth for civilizations. For centuries. So until the fall of Krypton, which then they would have had the apex of their knowledge of Earth. And, so that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. The Atlanteans and the Themyscians, it undersells them. This whole, this is peak Snyder stupidity right here. So yeah, that's I don't really think there's anything left to say about that one. I think that's stupid, and I'm glad. This is another reason I'm glad Zack Snyder is gone from DC. Like I said, I'm not championing James Gunn and Peter Safran at all because God knows they're the worst kind of people. But yeah,
as far as like a finishing thought, I would have liked to have seen more of the Snyder stuff if it was in different circumstances, like the whole apocalypse, like kind of landscape thing that they were setting up. It sounded pretty interesting to me, at least.
The nightmare verse,
the nightmare like world, like
the nightmare reality.
If they would have like did a full movie of that, I think that would have been cool, and it would have lended to his style too, because obviously it's fucking post-apocalyptic, and that's kind of what Snyder's known for, like that kind of like dark and all that stuff. But all right. So I'm along there. I liked a couple, like I liked Man of Steel because of Henry Cavill, not because I thought it was a good movie. I liked BVS for Batman, but I still Superman was. It's not a great movie. It's not a great fucking movie. It is. I have the. I didn't pay money for it, so
I bought it from Family Video when it, when they were selling all their shit. I'm like, I'll just buy this. But we'll talk about the writer's strike at the end of the program. Today is going to be an extended runtime. We're going to go an hour just because we've already been going for 20 minutes. We'll go an hour today, but normally when it's just me, the show is going to be 30 minutes, 9 to 9:30. We're going to get through the stories. I'll have about 10 minutes at the end to field questions and just chat, and then we'll take it home. But in between segments, what you're going to get is some commercial breaks, brief ones, not 2 or 3 minute ones. But here we go. Before we get into our next topic, which comes to us from Pink News, a bastion of journalistic integrity and acumen. We'll talk about Pedro Pascal and his slutty little knees after this.
No need for this when you have the Smith burglar alarm system that detects opening of doors, trunk, or hood, removal of tires, and automatically disables the starter. Even allows you to trigger the alarm from inside the car in emergencies. Protect your car now with a deluxe system for as low as $99, tax included. That's right, $99. Smith Burglar Alarm Systems, 16100 West 7 Mile Road, Detroit. For information, call 313-838-6800. 313-838-6800.
All right, and we are back. We have Pedro Pascal and his slutty little knees steal the show at the Met Gala 2023, and fans are not okay. Is this where we're at with our heroes from Star Wars? Is this where we're at? Like I said, I'm not watching. I'm not.
Oh God!
Like this is a man. This is considered masculine. Like this is bad. This is fucking ridiculous. This is the lead. Well, he's not the lead anymore in Mandalorian. Let's face it. He's been replaced by Katie Sackhoff.
My parents have been watching this shit, like
Mando.
They've been watching Mando. I could give two shits.
Okay, like I said, I got my mom's Disney Plus login, right? So I watched. Trey has been like, "Hey, can you?" And begrudgingly, like I said, my son is 7.5 years old. You know, I'm not going to be a dick. So I sit there and I watch it, and it's terrible. I'm not dedicating videos to it. We've briefly discussed it on air. He's barely in the suit anyway. It's somebody else under a helmet, and he's doing voiceover work. I mean, this guy's a joke. I've never been so happy because I'm like you with Game of Thrones. I watched Game of Thrones after the fact. I started watching it after the fact. You know, I haven't read all the books. I want to, but Jesus, I have a million books I have to read, and you know, I'd love to read those, but I started off topic anyway. He's in Mando, Last of Us. He was in Game of Thrones. Like I said, that's where I got in Game of Thrones. I was never so happy to see a character die than when, what's his name, the Mountain shoved his thumbs into this guy's skull.
See, I watched that episode of Game of Thrones well before all the bullshit, and he was the best. Like, I liked his character. I thought he was awesome.
Was it Owen Martell?
He was the Red Viper or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought his character was awesome. And then the outcome of it was just a letdown, but yeah.
I didn't like his character anyway.
Oh, I
and then
his
it was
character.
just because it was
He's
him.
a badass.
I was so happy to see him fucking die. I was like, this swarmy little fuck. But like I said, and everything aside, it was just made it more satisfying knowing how much of a douchebag this guy actually is. But I mean, this is what kind of self-respecting man? And I know I just thought, well, what's keeping men from? And then they try to conflate this with like kilts and things like that.
Well, that's like the destruction of masculinity in our society at this point. Like, and this kind of contributes to it, and all that, and a lot of the things in society suffer for it, like, you know, dating and all that shit. So it's like,
I would be terrified if I was single right now and had to fucking wade through the murky waters of modern day dating. Fuck that.
It's terrible. I'm talking to like two people right now, and it's rough.
I would much rather be single, career minded, and just focus on my son. You know, at that point, if I was in that situation. Luckily, I'm not. Been married for almost 13, 14 years, but it's absolutely sad. Like my son, I have to explain these things to him. You know, and it's like, cause Trey's a hugger. He's a very affectionate, caring, empathetic young man. And he's a hugger. And I have to tell him, it's like, buddy, you have to like make, you know, just so he doesn't get in trouble, you know. I'm like, and it's sad that you have to explain that to a child. Because it's like that, you know, kids are just, unless they're conditioned to be otherwise, kids are very kind by nature.
Society has changed so much that like you can't even just compliment somebody without like getting it perceived as like this fucking whatever. And and I ran into that working, you know, in the auto industry, man. We have, you know, girls working in the office. I'm like, hey, hun, you know, hey, sweet, you know, whatever. And none of them ever. They always seem to brighten up. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know, even if they look nice, I tell them, hey, you know, you look nice today. You know, you got your hair, you know, just not hitting on it, but it's like just normal human beings. It's like, hey, if somebody makes the extra effort, they're doing it because number one, they want to feel good about themselves, but number two, they do want somebody to notice it, and that can make somebody's day. So it's like, okay, and as a man, it's like it's you know, it's a gentlemanly thing to do, like holding doors. Like I've never held a door for a woman and had her get upset about it. I don't think ever. I have either.
I never.
Usually it's just like a thank you, or they don't say anything at all.
Yep. Yeah. That's it. It's a lot of times now they just walk right by, and it's like, well, fuck you. I could have just as easily let it go, but my mother raised me better than that.
Exactly.
You know, so this is, and to bring this all back, I want to acknowledge 24 Eyes. Hail, 24 Eyes. I'm telling you, it's close to end times. The perverse nature of every Hollywood event now is off the scales. The mask is, they're lizard people. They're lizard people. They are. These people are not normal. This is not, and Tony and I were having this discussion this morning. Dating would be god awful. Like you have to look for the Adams.
Oh, dude. Speaking of that, I was going through
horny Alf.
I was going through one of the, I think it was either Facebook or Tinder or whatever, and there's like dudes like in the female like section, and I'm like, what the hell is this shit? Like legit like dudes, they're not even like trying to be a woman. There are ones that are like, but at least some of them have the decency to like say that what they are. Like I'll give them that. But it's like, why isn't there just a subcategory like that is that? Like, create a category that is just those people and let them be their weird, shitty selves in that category.
Yeah. That's yeah, I wouldn't even want to have to deal with that. Like you're just scroll. Like I met my wife on Match. Like that's where we met. We met on Match.com because the area I live in, I didn't want to date anybody here. I grew up here, and I was like, I don't. And like I said, I went on there, and we're talking 2010. All right. So it wasn't too bad. It's like basically the infancy of internet dating at that point.
Back then, really it wasn't that bad. Like, it was easy.
No.
There was less bots. There wasn't people just trying to like peddle their shit or scam you. Because there was times where I had like a bunch of dates and stuff. Like, it was easier to get dates then, like, and meet people then. But now it's like you gotta sift through all this bullshit. Like,
and I had like, and they say, how it's easier for women. I had a lot of messages that I got. I mean, unsolicited too. And I mean, a couple of them, it was like, but they had a couple kids, and I'm just like, I'm 29. I don't have any fucking kids. And I'm not, I was like, God love them. I'm not taking on somebody else's kids. I'm not doing it. I was like, I'm fucking not. Cause my sister, I was watching her. She was married to some dude who had 4 kids coming in, and I'm like, no, fuck that.
I'm on the fence about kids now after my ex, because while I like spoiling them and shit, just like the kind of maybe it's just because they weren't my kids, but the whole like them not really listening to you, and because they're obviously not yours, so you don't really have that authority. Just kind of rubs me the wrong way, and I seen like kind of what it was bringing out in me, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to subject like my own kid to that, so I don't know if I even want them anymore. Yeah,
I wanted kids. Like, I wanted a couple, with everything that happened. God bless them. My family's still here. We were only able to have one. So, and I couldn't, we weren't going to adopt, and it's nothing. We just were like, it was like, we're only meant to have one. That was our thing. It's like, we're only meant to have one, and this is God's plan, and we're going to stick to that. So, and it's like you said, it's difficult enough raising one, and having to explain the social fucking scene now to them, and watching the world change from the time, like, look at Pedro Pascal, the way he is, and to bring it back to him. In the 1980s, this shit is like, just like, okay, dude, this dude's gay. Or you're just doing it for attention.
And there's no like strong male role models anymore either. Like, in the family, and in like media and stuff. Like, back when I was growing up, you had like Michael Jordan. You had like a lot of these people to look up to and kind of emulate, or even like at home too. But not anymore.
I thought it was Freddie Mercury. And that's the thing, is like, I never once was like, I don't like Queen because Freddie Mercury's gay. Like, they make such a big deal.
Yeah, I could care less.
No, that's the thing, is like, it's like Boy George. Like, dude, the guy's weird. You either like his music or you don't. And I'm not advocating Culture Club or anything like that. Or I'm not. I'm just saying. But this is like,
Boy George was so big they even had a Snoopy Boy George doll or whatever, which is crazy.
Just to kind of compare fucking, things like, look at this now compared to that, like, and now they're screaming, and I'm not saying there wasn't any pushback to Boy George in the 80s, because there was.
Oh yeah.
But that's because it's not normal. That's a fringe behavior.
Yep.
Okay?
Give me I'd take new wave and that kind of thing from the 80s over this any day.
Oh yeah. Because that was aware, it knew what it was.
Yep.
It knew it was a fringe. This is like, we're mainstream. No, guys aren't ever going to dress like this.
Mm-mm.
Your fucking weird eunuch fucking fantasy society is what this is. And wait. Nano says, what the fuck is up with the outfit? Cycling shorts, docks, and a trench coat? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. This is just insanity. And Pedro Pascal,
I've worn a trench coat and shorts before, so. But mine was more like an actual, like, I'm not trying to, like, they weren't like high shorts like that. They're like your shorts or whatever. And then I wear the long coat, but that's just because it's like, it's a winter coat. I need a winter coat, and I don't feel like putting on pants. So I'll put on some shorts and run out and do something quick and come back. I'm not like trying to impress anybody,
Yeah. Boy George is the reason for Sam Smith. I watched a comparison to when Sam Smith was first discovered to now, and it's like, he was just a singer, who I think he's gay or whatever. I don't know if he's just gay or gay for pay or gay because he's a celebrity, which is why most of them are gay. Let's be honest. Trench coat and shorts when you want to be a lost boy, but it's hot outside.
Exactly. See, Godzillionaire gets it.
He tells me we seem to have lost connection. Yeah, that's why Draven was lost for a second. Just like Madonna is the reason for Cardi B. Absolutely, Papa. Absolutely. Madonna, and Madonna was in the 80s.
Yeah,
she had some kind of musical talent.
Yes, and Madonna
Cardi
wasn't
B,
like being a slut just for the sake of being a slut.
No, she was. Madonna fucked every professional athlete that was worth their salt from like 1986 to like what? The late 90s. Oh yeah. She fucked like, I think it was like Mark Messier, Dennis Rodman, Jesus, dude, half the 1986 Mets. That bitch was fucking flat backing for anybody. I mean, didn't she marry Guy Ritchie for a minute? All of a sudden, she was British. It's like, this bitch is from Michigan. Like, she's from Michigan. She's from like Rochester Hills. Like, she's not British. I'm like, all right, I've not spotted making two veg. Hold it. I don't know. But she is a super spreader. She looks demonic now. Pedro Pascal is just, the dude should just fucking, he's deeper in the closet than fucking Tom Cruise. Let's just face it. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but just openly admit it, Pedro. I mean, let's just, dude, that's not a man. That's not a man. Sorry. I don't
at least wear a kilt for Christ's sake. Like, be like fucking Roddy Piper and be a badass about it. Like Braveheart and shit. But
yeah. But that's our second time. We got two left here for you, folks. So we'll talk about let's talk about James Franco. We'll talk about some James Franco fun here next. After, let's see, we'll go with this one right here after these commercial messages.
Hi, I am A. A isn't fat. Let me tell you right off the bat, these days fat is not where it's at. But how can I go from fatness to fitness? Watch me right here. You be my witness. And get up and get moving. It's time for action. Start walking. That's a step in the right direction. Take one extra step. From walking to hiking, one more step gets you right up to biking. Soon the shape you're in will be more to your liking. You'll feel like a hero, a cowboy, a Viking. You may never become a champion swimmer, but a few laps a day can make you slimmer and trimmer.
Play ball games and all games like soccer and tennis, and suddenly your weight is no longer a menace. Soon you're smooth and lean like a fox, all hustle and muscle, just like an ox. Yes, little by little, you're fit as a fiddle. Now I am the I wanted to be. And getting into fitness has done it for me. Ho-ho!
Canadians are into fitness now.
Is that like a personal attack or something?
Oh shit. I recorded about 4 minutes. I'll have different ones for like every day too. I'm gonna rotate them. So yeah, that's what you get in between stories. We're here back on Fandom Wire. Good morning, Tina Bojan. Hail. Welcome.
Oh.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Kia said last night Rodman should have come out of retirement to play in the NBA, in the WNBA. WNBA gets crazy ratings and everyone gets pissed off. Brilliant idea. Kai. That would be hilarious if Rodman did that and identified as a woman. Well, I always made the correlation between Joanna Man and Brittany Griner.
Mm-hmm. That's actually a pretty good movie. I'm not gonna lie.
Joanna Man.
Yeah.
Speaking of, well, this is Joanna, underage woman. James Franco, should I rent a room? Marvel star allegedly asked a 17-year-old underage girl to get a hotel room with him.
Alrighty.
I mean, we knew James Franco was a scumbag already,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, this this guy is this is just pushing the limits. But this is the thing, and I did a video on Millie Bobby Brown because she discussed this in an interview regarding the way Hollywood treats women when they're 17, and they're little girls still, and the day they turn 18, it's like be more sexualized and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the problem. And guys like James Franco, I mean, the dude, okay, like I'm sure he could pull some at least B, C tier ass still, but no, you're going after a underage. That is the lowest of the low. Like that's fucking scumbag territory right there. That's you're that, word you can't say on YouTube, and please face the ditch, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's the thing, is it sucks because like I love The Disaster Artist, which is the documentary they made about The Room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never seen it or The Room.
You need to check The Room out. But yeah, he's, numerous women. This is back in 2018, so we're talking 5 years ago. How his presently shut acting school is a center for all odd things. Reports revealed the Marvel actor approached underage girl to get, involved with him. Let's see, when else we had 2014. Some screenshots were leaked by a girl who accused the star of inviting in 2014. And this was a 17-year-old girl,
wow.
Scottish girl, after visiting with Franco after visiting in New York. Jesus. Who are you with? Do you have a boyfriend? When is your birthday? Where are you staying? Should I rent a room? This is what he sent her.
Oh, wow.
I mean, Jesus, dude.
How old is he now?
I don't know. He's got to be in his mid to late 40s, I imagine.
He was around my age. Oh, no, he's 45.
He's a couple years older than me.
2015, he was what, 30-something?
Yeah.
Jesus.
He would have been about 30, what, was 2015, 2014? He'd have been about 36, probably. Okay. He's a couple years older than I am, because I was 34, so he'd have been about 36.
Dang.
Yeah, this guy is Hollywood, and this has been the theme. We were talking about Gunn, and speaking of that, the poll right now is who's worse, Snyder or Gunn, we're at 58% Zack Snyder, 42% James Gunn. And this is only cinematically, folks. We're not, personal shit notwithstanding, because if we said strictly personal, then it would be James Gunn by a fucking landslide, because I've never heard any allegations about Snyder as we have Gunn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or let's just face it, at this point there's evidence, the tweets, all that shit, with Gunn, that that's them's the facts. Them's the facts, as the kids say, or Kojak or whatever. One of the fuckers. But anyway. So this goes all the way back to 2014. So we're talking 9 years ago. 5 girls from the school raised allegations against him.
Oh shit.
And so he's admitted last year in December, he admitted he had consensually slept with his students and is also taking treatment for his sex addiction. And he's still getting work. The actor was last spotted in the HBO series The Deuce and is said to be ending his acting hiatus with the upcoming title Me and You. So not only is this all in the open, but he still continues to get work in Hollywood.
Yeah. Well, look at freaking what was it? Ezra Miller and all that stuff too. Like they don't care. No, they don't care. That's it. It's how much money can you draw us will determine how much we care about the crimes you've committed. Yeah.
I mean, look at Jonathan Majors. Now, that right there, they're afraid to fire him.
Yeah.
Because the agency and everybody dropped him.
Their whole MCU, like Big Bad, is dependent on him.
It is. It's big, but that's why they're afraid to fire him, because they planned the Kang Dynasty was Avengers 5, I think, wasn't it? That was supposed to be like Avengers 5 or some shit.
At this point.
But yeah,
instead of having one Kang, there's like a shit ton of them that different versions or some shit. I don't know. I was watching that video that Tony sent us the other day about Ant-Man and Quantumania.
Let's see. Hang on a second. Nano Reaper sent me an article as we kind of bridged into Ezra Miller, which we can do that because that topic is relevant to what we're talking about here. It's an absolute perfect parallel. But right here, there should have been an on-set psychologist. Ezra Miller called out Hollywood for endangering their mental health in $10.8 million movie. This one came out today too. Was once poised to be a big star in Hollywood. Now there's a question mark on his career. Stop saying there, it's him. The guy's a man. Well, I'll say man with air quotes.
They
Ezra,
could have made this not an issue if they did just casted Grant Gustafson as the Flash, and kept the same flashes from the TV series and that in the movies. But they're like, we don't want to confuse audiences. It's like, people aren't that dumb. They can differentiate between the two.
Right. That's the thing.
Like your normies aren't going to understand just because they're freaking normies, but who cares?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he says, see, Ezra was caught in a video assaulting a fan, and that's the choking incident, rumored to be leading a cult, allegedly terrorizing residents of Hawaii. The perks of being a wallflower star, was also accused of grooming an underage activist, which he did. The Justice League actor, I want to apologize to everyone that I've alarmed and upset with my past behavior.
So that's the only statement he's made because of the stuff.
Let's see. During the interview with Vanity Fair, Miller talked about the lack of on-set therapists and psychologists that have made it difficult for him to enter into the headspace of a violent character safely. Usually you have the on-set medic. For we need to talk about Kevin, there should have been definitely an on-set psychologist. Alas, we were all left to our own devices to self-soothe in the face of such dark subject matter. So he's blaming what he's doing in a backhanded manner for the fact that the studio didn't provide mental health support for him because he had to play pretend as a killer or whatever. So okay,
that's like me needing to go see a psychiatrist after pretending to be a serial killer when I play D&D.
Yep. And yeah, that's like me needing therapy for needing to get out of character from my wrestling gimmick to my shoot life.
Yeah.
Like, no. Can they bleed together? Absolutely. Sure. And I let that happen to a certain extent, and that's why I'm not wrestling anymore. But it's rare, and there's different circumstances and instances, but I think, but I never once tried to blame anything else. I was like, yeah, that's a me problem. You know, I was like, yeah, I owned it. It was me.
Yeah.
You know, I shouldn't have, you know, but he refuses to take any responsibility. Like, I accepted my responsibility. You know, this motherfucker refuses to. Brutal says, yep, that's how you know how evil Hollywood is. They walk the streets while they cancel others posthumously. Yeah. Look, they try to cancel John Wayne.
Yeah.
You know, shit like that.
Yeah, they wait till they're dead to try to do that shit, though.
Yep, they do. Absolutely. I mean, going back, 20 some years after, or over 25 years now, going after the show Friends because it's too white. Things like that. It's just, this is the state we're in now.
Yeah.
We have to, you said that, fuck, dudes, you're talking about John Wayne. The motherfucker was born in the 1800s. Like, you really,
time.
It was, and that doesn't excuse, but it puts it in context for the conversation. That's the problem, is they act as if there is no context or room for nuance or a gray area anywhere. Everything has to be in absolutes,
Once you get to a certain age, there's no changing somebody too. So it's like, does it really, why would I waste my energy trying to change somebody that's so set in their ways? Like, they've been doing it, whether it's right or wrong. Like, they've been doing that shit for, their entire life. At this point, the chances of changing them is going to be definitely diminished.
Yeah, you're just set after like a certain age, and it's most of your behavioral patterns are set by age 8. Like all that you'll carry through your life. Those are set. But I mean, so that even proves further, though, that the Hollywood weirdos they're not changed. Like, oh, I'm going to therapy for sex addiction. Like, really, bitch? Like, you're not going to change.
Yeah.
You can't. You're not even going to suppress it because you've never had to suppress that, because you operate in a sphere that allows you to openly, indulge your depravities. Because that's what this is. These people are depraved, sick bastards, and we're freaking forced to.
You have to take accountability for your shit. Like,
yeah.
I was watching one of the interviews with was it Logan Paul or whatever? He has that like interview. One of his hosts or whatever, I guess, went through some addiction and stuff, and he was talking about how like one of his things was like, yeah, I only do it while I'm on the road and stuff. And it's like, but then you're on the road how long, like, out of the year? So are you really giving anything up? Like, so you have to kind of like set better limits than, obviously that are harder, but obviously that you can handle. Yeah. And if you're setting a goal that it's like, obviously you're traveling like, 200 and some days out of the year. And if you're only going to do drugs and stuff on those days, like, are you really doing anything like to better yourself? No, you're not.
Yeah. So. Well, all right. We got something from Shawnee Step that'll we'll check this out. He said I asked for it, and I did. So let me Let me go over here. And thank you for this, Shawnee Step. Thank you. He's given Horny Alpha a run for his money with the videos lately.
Know, right? Oh, that's great. That was good.
Thank you for that one, Sean. Thank you for that one. Alf says, I need to step my game up.
I know, right?
Yeah,
hell,
Sean,
I need to step my game up, man. You guys got mouth movements and everything.
I know, right? I know. All right, let's so we got one more article to cover here, as I feel like we're going to go into overtime on our first episode, but that's what happens when you have a good discussion going. Let's see here. We got right here, ladies and gents. We'll be right back.
If your old television set is giving you the runaround, Curtis Mathis has an offer that'll knock you off your feet. Free remote control. For a limited time, buy any specially selected Curtis Mathis television, and we'll give you our $100 remote control unit absolutely free. After all, watching television should be a lot of fun, not a lot of work.
Available exclusively at the Curtis Mathis Showroom, Southgate.
Oh, God, Curtis Mathis, man. We had one of those. You had to pop you pushed a little plate thing, and it opened up and had all the controls and shit in it.
Yep. Oh, God. So here we are. Indiana bar backtracks on vow to toss patrons who criticize Bud Light and Dylan Mulvaney. Did you hear about that one?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, this bar promised to kick out patrons who criticize Bud Light's partnership with trans influencer Dylan Mulvaney, is pleading with customers to return. The Fairfax Bar and Grill in Bloomington, Indiana, drew swift backlash when it declared that those who were against the controversial partnership weren't welcome. Now the local watering hole has done a 180, insisting different opinions are welcome. What I really want to convey is this: just be respectful. Different opinions are welcome here as long as they're delivered respectfully, owner McKinley Minifield said in a Facebook post to clarify his stance on Friday following the backlash. This is not an apology. This is a Jesus, I'm losing money. Please come back and drink here.
Yep.
I'm sorry I politicized something that I shouldn't have. I should have just shut my fucking mouth and let my customers decide.
Yep. And then if they're not going to buy that beer, then I'm not going to put it on my menu because it's obviously not profitable. And basically let the market do what it's supposed to do. Like, you know,
right? Like that's fucked. That's just like, hey, you're not going to come into the bar and you know, and talk, you know, normally like normal fucking human beings do about, you know, I mean, that's, you know, get the fuck out of here. Like, yeah, you go and you like Anheuser-Busch, like Budweiser, that shit. I'm not a Budweiser drinker. I'm not a Bud Light drinker. Bud Light's fucking nasty. Like, you know, I just, that's the only time I've had any of those, like, in as fucking far back as I can remember, is going to somebody's house, like, you want a beer? And I'm like, whatever. And that's all they have. And I'm like, you don't want to be rude, but, you know.
My dad's a Coors Light guy, so it's the same, kind of the same thing.
I was and I don't even drink it anymore because Anheuser-Busch or whatever the parent company owns it is Stella Artois, like that one, and Corona. Like my Corona, yeah, that's what I was drinking when we were hanging out last time, was Coronas, or, you know, and yeah, so I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm not buying your fucking. I'm not supporting your fucking bullshit. And
that's so another thing. A lot of people think that it's just Bud Light and it's not just Bud Light. It's all Anheuser-Busch products that you have to boycott. You can't just pick one because it's not going to do shit. If you just pick one, you have to do them all. But yeah.
Yep. And that's the drink Yuengling, oldest family-owned brewery in America. I've never had one of those. I don't even know if I also look at
that.
I just like that meme of a picture of Anakin killing younglings and he's got a bunch of the beer bottles around him.
Yeah. He's just a drunk college student taking a make one of those toy lightsabers, just knocking cans over. Here it turns out that the first 3 episodes was just Anakin just high off his ass and seeing things, and we're actually there.
It's not about the beer in the can; it's about the queer on the can. Nobody wants us. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, you're okay. So you're right now. That's what they did. They bet the wrong fucking horse. They hedged their bets on the fact that people would just capitulate to accepting a beer that's a brand, a product that's targeted at men and blue collar, and you're gonna accept some fucking troon on the fucking can or as a spokesperson for this brand, and you weren't expecting any pushback from blue collar everyday fucking Americans. Like what? Like what? But they're foreign owned. It's a foreign owned company, so they don't fucking whatever. They don't see the brand like like they would if they were the the fucking original the founders of it would see it, but they sold it, so fuck them too. They let this happen. Let's alienate the majority for less than 1%. Exactly. That is it. That is exactly the point, and that is exactly what they did. And this is the Facebook post right here. It says, this was from April 27th. A lot has been said, some correct, some incorrect, and I want to clarify my stance. What I really want to convey is this: just be respectful. Different opinions are welcome here as long as they're delivered respectfully. We'd no more want ugly, aggressive, or rude interactions about which sports team someone thinks is better than about societal issues. We do not and will not censor opinions, but we do require civility in this establishment. So if you can't play nice, then get out of the sandbox. That goes for everyone. Let's remember why we even gather at a bar: to enjoy each other's company and to raise a glass to civility. And they turned comments off, of course.
Of course. I'm going to say something. I can't remember what.
But so this is, so they were losing money left and right. People are like, okay, fuck it. We're not going to, people aren't going to go there, and not spend their money there. Let's see. With the departure of some of our regulars, we needed new clientele, and you have answered. I'm not going to lie. We still need more of you right now. The established road, according to Fox News. The bar's turnaround comes just after weeks after it sparked anger by vowing, we're tired of the hate. We covered that. This is the Fruit Loop right here. Like how anybody could, God. Yeah. So
it'd be one thing if they got like a female, like a legit female to like represent their brand, because that's basically what he's doing, is taking a spot away from a legit female that they could use as a spokesperson. But yeah,
I did not know that. What did Tina say to it? My boys' university liberals are tying empty Bud Light cans outside their doorknob to the dorms to show supports for trans rights. Are they trying to get ants? Because that's how they get ants. Like, first of all, like that's fucking stupid. It's my Bud Light can for trans rights. Oh my god. Oh why? Like that doesn't. Oh god. So yeah, that's ridiculous. I want to pull this clip up if I can find it. Because I don't know how many people have seen this. But did you see the clip of Dylan Mulvaney on The Price is Right?
I think so. Where he's still a dude.
Yeah, but he acts exactly
the same. Yeah.
Hang on, let me see. Right here. Here it is. Right here. This was released this is an older clip. I don't know how old it is, but here it is right here. This is on Mad World's channel. On and on and on and on and on. Like,
Oh,
look at this
God.
shit. There's another like
Are you
20
fucking Pee Wee
seconds of
Herman?
this. But I mean, so this. What up, CJP? Hail,
Hey.
hail, hail! The Time Prophet. What's going on? Welcome, welcome. Yeah. So this is completely, utterly fucking ridiculous. This right? It's a grift. That's all it is a grift. The
Mhm.
guy's not trans. That's why he hasn't.
He's just gay.
Yeah. And hey, dude, just be that then. If you're flamboyantly fucking, but
Yeah,
this dude has been trying to be famous
Mhm.
his whole life. Has been
Well,
trying
that's like,
to, you know.
they're trying to put labels on like tomboys and all that stuff. Like still a specific thing, but they're just trying to put labels that already existed on specific things, and it's pointless. It's like, why can't it just be the way, and it just, you know, okay, yeah, you're more flamboyant than normal. You're still a man. Like, you're just a little, little,
I mean, not he faked it till he made it, you know, and that's what he did. That's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's completely disingenuous for them to, like, you know, oh, you're a bigot or you're against. No, this is a lie. The entire, it's like Rachel Dolezal or Sean. How do people still Sean King, like Talcum X, like I'm blacker than him. Like, I don't like, it's even on his birth certificate and both his parents are white. Like, what?
Who?
It's Sean King, Talcum X. That white dude that pretends to be black. He's like, but everybody knows he's white, and he just tells everybody he's black. No. And then he lied about, I hate Martin Luther King. Yep. He fucking lied about being beat up as a black man and blah, 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 blah. And yeah, it was just, yeah, dude, it was the whole thing. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, the dude is snow fucking white. He is. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, okay. He definitely looks like a white dude. Or at least
he's
Hispanic.
All right, he's not black bad.
Yeah, he's definitely not black, but maybe Hispanic, just because of the facial hair. I don't know.
But yeah, so that and what I want to talk about last in closing is the Writers Guild. They're on strike now. I think it's hilarious. It doesn't bother me one bit. I think it's funny. I have physical media and shit. I don't need anything new, to be honest with you. Because what has come out that has been good? There's been
Not
a couple
very
shows.
much.
I mean, I was CJP says Sean King looks like Pitbull if he was on estrogen.
Well, now's the time though for independent guys to, like, not necessarily make bank, but like try to profit on the strike, because we're not going to be getting stuff from, like, the mainstream. So if they want to, like, put something out, like, it's gonna, to fill that gap.
Yep.
I would say go for it now.
I know. And this is the time right now. Like, I'm happy we've got that what is it? Womp Stomp. Never Hike Alone 2's coming out.
Oh, nice.
You know, I'm like, as I'm sitting here wearing my fucking Jason Part 6, Jason Lives shirt this morning. I'm excited. Next weekend I go get the ink done.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I'm fucking, yeah, that'll be fun. I'm excited, man. But yeah, so the Writers Guild this is the first strike in 15 years. That's basically what ruined the show. Lost was the strike.
Heroes.
Heroes.
Got Moonlight canceled. There's some other shows too that Sarah Connor Chronicles got canceled because of that. Which sucks because those are really good shows. And they got screwed over.
All right. I'm looking. I was reading Time Prophet's comments. Yeah, they do want to get rid of all the blue collar union jobs.
Yeah.
The Writers Guild. They do. They're fucking. They're like I said. They're not writers. They're activists. We should just call it what it is. It's
they want a guaranteed. Like I was looking at some of the things. They want like a guaranteed like 15 thing. Like they want guaranteed like shit like for writers. It's like no, we're gonna pay as you know we need you.
Mm-hmm. They're fucking ridiculous. There's these, like I said, it's just activists doing activist shit. Clone Geek says sounds like the 2007 Writers Guild of America strike happened after Heroes season 2 started airing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a short season.
They want pay equity. They got it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's humorous watching them all scamper and panic now because like I said, I have no dog in this fight.
Apparently negotiations failed yesterday.
Like I said, it's akin to petulant toddlers stomping their feet and screaming and expecting to automatically get their way, and that simply can't be allowed to happen. But I don't know. Do you have anything else you want to add on that one?
I was just trying to find what their demands are, and maybe we could go over those.
All right.
That's really what I was trying to think. So you can go over step by step.
Okay.
But I'm not seeing anything.
All right. They haven't made them public yet. It's too embarrassing. It's too embarrassing to make public. Wait, Chat GPT is as woke as they are, but you don't have to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that free? Is that Chat GPT?
Chat GPT is free, yeah.
I've never tried it. I've never messed with it. I might.
I'm pretty sure. I might.
I never fucked with it, but we do have a great fucking show planned tonight. It's a shame you have to work this evening.
Oh, here we go. So the stakes and the demands. Sorry, I'll just give you the article.
Yeah, let's see.
It's not a little bit. It's not right at the.
Got it. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Close this down here. Okay, the main sticking points, according to entertainment giants, include union proposals that would require companies to staff television shows with a certain number of writers for a specific period of time, whether they're needed or not. So they want to be paid for doing nothing.
Basically. And then, like, if you go down further, it gives, like, more of their, whatever they, like, stakes and demands and stuff.
All right. Pay increases and structural changes to a business model, they say, has made it increasingly difficult to make a living. The explosion of streaming platforms, the median writer pay has declined 4% or 23% when adjusted for inflation.
Which isn't that, like, basic, like, the current model, isn't that basically what the original writer strikes created?
I believe.
So they kind of fucked themselves to begin with.
Right? God. Let's see. What is this? What else to say? More writers are working at a minimum regardless of experience. In contrast, salaries for top entertainment have ballooned in recent years. Let's see. Writers in the union are particularly frustrated that streaming era shows run for fewer episodes than their broadcast counterparts, making it tough to maintain a consistent income. In addition, residual fees, money paid when a show is put into syndication or aired overseas, have all but disappeared as more content is hosted exclusively on streaming platforms. Let's see. We want more. They want more money right here.
Mm-hmm.
We want more money. We want more money to make a basic living doing what we love. So that's what it boils down to. Is they want more money for doing less work.
Mm-hmm. And I was watching, which I don't watch very often, but I guess Nerdotic was on. And he had Chris Gore on there, and Gore's like close with that kind of stuff. So yeah, he was saying about how they used to have more shows being like greenlit like each season, each time, and now it's like 2, if that.
Yeah.
Like so, like they I think they want more stuff to be greenlit, but it's like you can't. We're gonna use our money wisely. We're not gonna just throw out a bunch of shit like you used to.
Yep. And
which seems like that's what they want. They want a bunch of shit just thrown out there just to be thrown out there.
Yeah, they want their activist fucking garbage out there. There's shows that are just identity politics centered and driven, and that's what they pass off as entertainment, and it's not, and people reject it, and then it's like, you're bigots. It's like, no, you're shitty. You're, like Papa said, you're shitty at your job. That's what it boils down to. And that's it. That's the caveat.
Like I said, hopefully the independent guys that like just want to make good quality shit can move in and say screw your Writers Guild union thing and be like, hey, we'll work for this, we'll work for what we're creating and make quality stuff doing it.
Yeah, and that's it. That's all we want, some quality entertainment. But so that's it, gang. That's today's show. Hope you've enjoyed. Draven, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. We're doing the wrestling extravaganza Friday evening.
Yes, Friday. Let me. I can at least show tonight's card, at least for what's happening tonight.
Screw your strike. Write more movies. Screw your strikes, writers. You little pencil neck geeks.
Yeah, so this is the card for the Dynamite that we'll watch Friday. So you got MJF and Sammy Guevara versus Darby Allin and Jack Perry for Four Pillars tag match. So if Darby and Jack win, it's going to be a fatal four-way at Double or Nothing. And then I guess we have a Tres de Mayo Trios Battle Royale. I have no idea what the winner of that gets. Maybe a title match against the Trios champs, which is House of Black. We hear from the Elite, Saraya versus Willow Nightingale, Ricky Starks versus Juice Robinson, and then Orange Cassidy, Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, and Bandito versus JAS in an 8-man tag. So, yeah. I'm not sure about what the cards are for... you're muted, by the way. Cards are for ROH or Rampage yet, because obviously Wednesday hasn't. Usually they announce that stuff on Wednesdays, but yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, yeah, it looks like a good card. And speaking of good cards tonight, on Holy Shit News episode 25, Saggy Melons will be joining us. We're gonna have a couple stories, but we're just gonna give Saggy the floor and let her the airing of Saggy grievances, and we're gonna talk about everything she's got going on. It'll be a lot of fun. I think she'll join us on the member stream too. So thank you, gang, for being here for the Place to Be Reviews live. We'll be live again tonight, like I said, 8:30 Eastern member stream directly following around 10, and then we'll be live tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. and Friday morning at 9 a.m. and Saturday night's main event. It's normal time, 9:15 Saturday. I'm Etep from the Place to Be Reviews. Me and Draven Ben here with all of you. If we don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow. We'll catch you on the next one.
It's better to burn out than to fade away.
I could do this all day.